Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the General College Podcast 2020, baby. Today, I will be the lead co-host. I'm editing this episode, so crazy effects. Let's do it. And we have Sam, who is my co-host once again, and we have some returning members. So please introduce yourselves.
I'm Grace, and hi, I have a double uvula.
What the heck? Now I kind of want to
Wow.
see, but at the
I
same
don't think
time,
you can.
you
I mean,
can't
I
That's
can
see.
like
I
difficult
don't
to
even know what
see.
that is.
It's
it's
like
That's
like
crazy.
that hanging thing in the back of your throat.
Yeah, but is it
So
like
like,
is it like two like side by side or one behind
yeah,
the other?
no,
Oh,
it's two
what the
side by
heck?
side. It's supposed to be one, and I have a
Interesting.
double one.
Wow.
That's great. I wonder if that gives you any kind of like evolutional advantages, or I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, I don't
That's so
gag,
funny.
so I
Oh,
mean, who
well,
knows?
now we know. But also, what is your year and your major?
Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm a dramatic arts major and an English major with a concentration in creative writing. I'm a junior.
Nice, nice. Who's next?
As the other returning one. Hi, I'm Joseph. I am a sophomore English major with a concentration in creative writing, um, and minor writing in the screen and stage. Uh, and a fun fact about me is that my sleep schedule is so fucked up. I went to bed at 6:40 a.m. and I
Ooh,
woke up at noon.
Lord.
Wow.
Pray for
All
Joseph,
right.
please.
Yeah.
All
COVID
right.
has been COVID has done wonders to my sleep schedule.
Hmm.
Mm.
I feel that. And our new cast member, Jacob. Please introduce yourself.
Um, all right. Hi, my name is Jacob Hester. I'm a sophomore. I'm a dramatic art and music major. And a fun fact, I'm a full-time Gemini.
Oh,
What does
nice.
that mean?
Um,
You're hardcore
Majority of
Gemini.
my what Grace said.
I believe
Um,
it.
it's true. It is very true. It's very accurate. The majority of my houses in my zodiac chart, a lot of them are Gemini, and they're
Oh,
very
okay.
true.
Cool.
They read me like a book.
There you go. There you go. All right, Sam, give the people a little something. Tell them about yourself.
I'm Samantha Hines. I'm a sophomore communications major. I know what major I am.
She does.
A concentration in media production. And I also have I'm starting at least a minor in creative writing.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, and my fun fact, it's not as fun as a double uvula, but
I
I'm
know it's crazy.
currently crocheting.
Ooh,
Hey, that's cool. Where are you
It's
finding
That is
cool.
that?
nice.
It makes me feel like a grandma, but like in a cool way, you know?
there you
Yeah,
go.
it's a good skill to have.
General College Podcast Crochet coming
Yes.
soon to
It can
our
just be a
merch
live
store.
stream of me crocheting, I think.
All right. And then for the people who don't know me, my name is Jamie Collier. I am a double major in communications and advertising. And I'm a junior. And my fun fact is that I used to play flute in high school.
Oh,
So there you go.
that is cool.
I can still play it a little bit, but
I thought you were about to pick up a flute in front of
no.
me.
I actually thought about that, but I'm like, I feel like I'm just gonna blow everybody's ears out. So let's not do that. All right. And so our topics for this episode are going to be relating more to like the central college life, getting adjusted to all these kinds of things is what we talked about last time. So now we're talking about just living and being a college student.
Mhm.
So first one is living in a college town and living in the dorms. So you guys have any fun dorm slash Chapel Hill stories?
Ah, yes, those dorms that we are living in. I
Well,
think
that we used to live in.
Yeah.
We used to.
I don't know about you guys. I lived in Horton my first year, and when I first got my room assignment, it started with it said 019, and me and my roommate were like, "Oh, that's sort of weird that it's like that it starts off with a zero for the first floor." No, it was the basement. We didn't realize there was a basement.
Mm.
There was a basement. So
Oh,
we lived in
wow.
the basement of Horton. We were the honor college's like basement dweller.
Dang. Was it
It's
at least nice though and like furnished?
It was furnished. It had a bed. It had desks.
Okay,
And
well.
neither of us were in the honors college either.
Well, you
There
had
were
somewhere to
roaches.
live for the
When we
first
Right.
first
year.
walked in, there was like when we first walked in, there was like roach legs on the ground.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
I have
I'd be
something
like,
to
"Mom,
say.
take me home. I'm
This
dropping out."
this does not have to do with UNC, but my summer before I came to UNC, I was a counselor uh at UNCSA for their summer programs. And I lived in a dorm that had a lofted bed, and it had a serious roach problem because the halls led like right out into like the outdoors or whatever. And I had killed a bunch of roaches so far, but the worst moment was when I was about to go to sleep and I was like turning my alarm off and I mean on, not off. And I looked up and there was a cockroach right in front of my head, like on the ceiling, and I was in a loft,
Mm-mm,
so it was like a foot
mm-mm,
away from my
Oh,
face.
mm-mm.
no,
It was the
Samantha.
worst experience of my life. I still have nightmares about that cockroach.
Oh,
I
no.
don't.
Mm-mm.
I don't, but it's
That's
still
terrible.
horrifying.
I can actually relate to that, because this is a well, it's a funny story now, but before it was terrifying. I was going to sleep and I was like sitting in pretty much absolute darkness, so I couldn't see anything. But for some reason, I thought I saw a spider like come down from the ceiling. It's like slowly like just hanging above my
Oh,
face.
Ugh.
So I do what any
mm-mm.
other normal person does and immediately get up out of the bed. So as I get up out of the bed, turn on the light, I see, oh, no spider or anything. But I feel like this burning pain on my heel. I'm like, what the heck is that about? So I look, turned out I had sliced a piece of skin off my heel because I had got up so fast. It was just running away. Because my bed doesn't have like a frame around it. So it's just like a metal part
Mm.
that I just scraped. And
Mhm.
funny enough, my first thought was, "Oh crap! Like I gotta clean this up before I get blood on the carpet. Mom will be mad." And yeah, that was fun.
Roaches should not exist. I don't
I
For
know
sure.
why
agree.
they
Roaches
do.
are scary, and so are spiders. Spiders do good things,
Spiders
but
also should not
still
exist.
spooky.
Yeah,
I
but
have
they
a
eat other
story.
bugs.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they have a purpose. I just don't like acknowledging that.
They
mm-mm.
have more than a purpose than I do, so of course I'm jealous.
And Horton, me and my suite, well, we kind of all already knew each other. We went to the same high school, and so we were trying to find people that we would be compatible living with. And so it all just sort of ended up working out because we knew each other pretty well. Um, but we just really did not gel at all with the rest of the floor. The Horton basement had a surprisingly like tight knit community, like for like a basement. And like just my suite, like when it came to like hall stuff, we mainly just stuck to ourselves. And I don't know, I enjoyed knowing the people that I was in a suite with, like going into it, because that whole like awkward getting to know you phase, especially for somebody you're living with, it just is so painful.
Yeah.
uh, and it also helped to know that like these were people that I was already compatible with. I knew what they were like to live with, so it just sort of ended up working out pretty well for us, and we were able to like stick to ourselves without like feeling like isolated or anything like that.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
good.
like something that's like really important, like feeling comfortable where you live. I know like I did not really get along with my roommate my first year. Like we weren't like hostile, but like we just kind of had nothing in common, and so we like it was just always like a little uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And like that makes a big difference, I think, your first year, like, because that's where you're supposed to like feel like comfortable, for lack of a better word.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm living with my first year roommate. No.
You don't
Oh,
have to keep bragging about it. My God, she
Oh,
talked
not
about this
second
last
year,
podcast.
but just the our first year at
that's
work.
nice.
I
I
wish.
forgot, I'm sorry.
No. I was just kidding. You're good.
Yeah.
But my roommate before she ended up disappearing into the abyss, she was a international student, which I was like immediately surprised about, only because I requested not to be roomed with any international students because I'm like, if I want a roommate, like I want somebody that like I can potentially live with all 4 years instead of just like switching out every once in a while. So I'm like, you know what? This is the card I was dealt, so I just have to deal with it. And I tried talking to her, but she was like either just trying to sleep or like shop on her computer, or she would go out and like party and then like not come back, and I'd be like, "Hey, you still alive?" And then she wouldn't text me back until like later on the next day, and like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool. Like I'll be back later." I'm like, "Okay." So I think she was like a cool person, but I guess like she either didn't like me or I don't know, hard for her to open up. So I unfortunately did not have the best of roommates either.
Yeah, I think it's something that just like it kind of forms your entire experience a little bit. And like it's
Yeah.
something that you're so scared about happening. And then when it kind of does happen, it's kind of like, oh God, what am I supposed to do?
Mhm.
But at the
Mhm.
same time, like it's not the end of the world. The roommate that I had for like a month or like 2 weeks this year when I was in the dorms, we got along super great. I mean, of course we had to leave like 2 seconds later, but like what I'm trying to say is like if you don't have the greatest experience with your roommate your first year, like, it's
I
gonna be
still hope.
fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Yeah, my roommate last year is actually pretty cool, but unfortunately she was a senior, so not rooming with
Mhm.
her again.
fine.
All right, while you're gone, we are gonna transition to the next segment. So we'll bring it back in. But the next segment is dating or lack thereof in college.
Who do you
So
guys have
I will
crushes
start.
on?
Huh?
Who
What
do you
did you
guys
say?
have crushes on?
Everybody's like, "What?
All right, everyone,
No
reveal your
one?
best and darkest secret.
Tell me, who are you in love with right now?" But
Send me
What'd you
but
say?
for
just send me the link to your tenders.
Oh.
yeah, oh, send me a link
Oh,
to your
question. Wait,
Tinder, Bumble.
can we start with dating apps? Did anyone use dating apps?
Like once. It was for like a couple of months.
Mhm. Did it
To be
work
honest,
out?
it was no, it was just really funny to text people. the I just tell you, you can like really throw anything in there and it will get a response.
Mm.
Oh, wait. Okay, so I actually have a great story relating to Tinder. It's not my Tinder. So, my roommate and his girlfriend, who's actually also visiting right now, is they my roommate's girlfriend was curious to see how well my roommate would do on Tinder because they've been dating for like a while and like never really got into the dating apps.
That's interesting.
But she was interested.
Yeah.
And so my roommate, great guy and really just will do anything. He was like, "All right, sure." So like I took a couple like actual good photos of him. We made up a fake profile of stuff that like he's kind of into but like really embellished it. So like he has a bass and he plays like bass like sort of casually, but we said like enthusiastic bassist, like dorm chef when like he put
Mm.
like pancakes on a griddle. Anyways, the uh we were like looking for a fake name. We used my first name as the profile for as the name for the profile. And let me tell you, my roommate knocked it out of the park. Like if this man was
Dang.
on Tinder, he'd be getting offers from everybody left and right. He was getting
Damn.
he was mainly getting offers from guys, which trust me, if you've seen him, you would understand. But just like it seems and like the sort of responses that happened on there are just it's a very interesting place. People don't like follow any sort of normal social conduct on Tinder. It's like a completely different landscape. The way you
Mhm.
communicate completely different.
Mm. Well then, I did not know that. I oh, hello Grace.
Hey,
So we're
Grace.
talking about dating and lack thereof. And we were talking about dating apps, and Joseph just shared this really quite interesting story.
My
Actually,
roommate's catfish profile.
Yeah,
that was just the odd predicament that was going on there. But hey,
Terrible.
if she was with
What
it,
was-
then that's
what was
fine.
the goal?
Oh, she was the one. She was the one who like actually had the profile. It was just to see how well he would do. It was born out of pure curiosity. No like dates were made or anything. It was just like nobody was really even messaged. It was just like it was message like a few people would send messages, but it was really just how well would he do? They answered very well.
Well, that's good to know.
There you
Yeah.
go. I don't use any dating apps or anything just because I'm like, I don't know. From what I've heard, the people on dating apps are not really looking for dating. Um, and I don't know. It's just weird, like Joseph was saying, with how people communicate. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me try and talk to some people in real life.
Yeah,
Still
it's not for
working on that
everyone.
part, but
That's
yeah,
hard too.
yeah. I don't know. Do you guys feel like it's easier to talk to people in real life or dating
Yes.
apps? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes to which?
Because you don't overthink it. I'm saying yes to
Mhm.
talking to people in real life because you don't overthink it as much. Because if you're all doing it on the app, you're literally gonna be like, you literally are gonna be like, oh, am I sounding too needy or am I sounding too? Is this too sexual? I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
I haven't used dating apps as much, but I feel like it's definitely easier in person because you're awkward, but you own up to it. On dating apps, you
Mhm.
don't want to own up to it, but it's like
That's
more
true.
real in real life.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Sam.
Me? Did you say Sam or Same?
Sam.
Okay.
Not Sam. Not same. Sam.
Couldn't tell. No, yeah, I downloaded one dating app a week before well, the week of spring break, which as you know is the week we all went home
Yeah.
and forever. So I have no experiences when it comes to dating apps. But I don't know. I guess my thought, like to what Grace was saying, like my thought of like the benefit of it is just like you know what you're there for. You know what I mean? Like whereas like real life, like there's just so much like nuance to everything. Real life sucks is what I'm saying.
So you
But
would
it's real.
prefer.
Internet also sucks. I'm just saying everything sucks.
Sucks.
So would you prefer using a dating app, or you're just like, it's gonna be hard either way?
I can't say because I've never used a dating app, so I have no idea.
But the idea of it, let's say.
I don't like the idea of it actually. I
Oh.
much prefer to meet someone in person, but like, you know, I think it just depends, like what you want your like dating experience to be in college. Like I personally didn't date anyone my freshman year of college. And it's one of those things where like I just kind of was waiting for anything to happen, if it happened it happened. But then like I also think there's this social stress of like why is it not happening to me? Is am I not good enough?
Mhm.
Like
Oh my god, for
uh,
sure.
and like it just, those thoughts come up and like uh I don't know, but the thing is I also didn't go to a ton of parties. I didn't like I wasn't like in that kind of social atmosphere, so like I think that also affected my influence, like my experience. Not that I would have wanted to. I was very happy with the fact that I didn't really do that my first year, but like, I'm just saying like I feel like there's this idea that we have of like what college is supposed to look like and like we have these movies we've seen where it's like, "Oh my god, this is how the first year of college is." But then like it never really
Mhm.
is. And it's just like managing that like disappointment or like feeling like you're doing things wrong. Go ahead, Grace. Yeah.
Heads up, college is more boring than you think it is. At the
Oh,
True.
oh
same
my
time, it's
gosh, yeah.
not, but it's way
Mhm.
more boring than you think it is.
When we
No,
get to the
yeah.
Like,
partying section, I got some
I
stories to
mean, I
tell,
have
but
party stories, but like it's still boring.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Not
Mhm.
as wild as it may seem.
But to what Sam was saying, um, I don't know. I'm not like a big partier either. Like I feel like if I had a group of friends that I knew that were hosting a party, then I'd be like, yeah, sure, like let's do it.
Yeah.
But for most of the time, I would know like maybe 3 or 4 people. It's like, hey, like we're going to this party, and there'll just be like a whole bunch of random people I don't know. Some of which looked a little bit shady, so that was always concerning to me. But, I would not wanna meet someone at a party per se, because most people are gonna be, like, drunk out of their mind or high or a mix of both and just be like, "Hey, like, oh, like, what are you like, where you live? Give me your number." I'm just like, "No, go get some help, find Jesus." Like, no, that's not me. So, yeah, I would rather meet somebody, like, when they're sober and themselves.
And it's one of those things, like, if you're not a partier, you don't wanna meet people to date at
Mhm,
parties because 'cause they're most likely not gonna want the same things as you are, and, like,
Yeah. I
not
mhm,
feel like of all the stories I've heard where like people meet at parties, it was either or at least I know one person who shares a lot of these details with me. And most of the time it just ends up in a hookup for them and not really like a good relationship. So that's why I'm like parties might be a no-go.
and,
mhm,
like, no shade to people who, like, do hook up at parties, like,
Yeah.
mhm.
do what you want,
Yeah.
but also
That's just
don't
not
do
my
it if you
style.
don't want to do it. I think that's the
True.
important thing,
Some
like
people get
Mhm,
pressured into that stuff. And just, do whatever you're comfortable with. Don't do things just because, oh, I feel like I should be doing this. Or at least that's
mhm.
how I live my life.
Yeah.
That's why it tends to be a good idea if you're going to party to go with a friend or somebody that you do like actually trust. You guys don't have to like stick with each other the whole night, but it's just nice to know that wherever you are, there is somebody in that space that's going to have your back.
Yeah.
Mhm,
definitely. Yeah. The only parties I went to with actually, I went to one with Joseph and I went to one with Jamie.
Yeah,
So,
actually.
that's my entire partying experience. I just realized that. But yeah, it helps to have someone that, like, and I prefer to have multiple people
mhm.
so, like, just so people are aware of, like, who you are, I don't know, it just makes you be able to, like, be more comfortable and feel like
Yeah.
you're not gonna get taken advantage of in any way, because also, like, sexual assault, like, is a seriously real thing, and, like, colleges, they suck. Like,
Mhm.
you have to be careful, like
hmm
Yeah.
And that's not just for like girls. Like guys can get taken advantage of too. So you just all
yeah.
around have to be careful.
Unless you are, like, 100% okay, don't walk home alone, kids. Just don't
Yeah.
No.
do it. Just
Yeah,
don't do it.
Don't
not a good
do it.
plan. Not a good
Not at
plan.
night. Or even
You think
sometimes
you
during the
can?
day, depending where you are.
Don't.
And, like, make sure you have a plan of, like, how you're going to get home before
It
you
will
get
make it
tired
easier.
at
Yeah.
all.
Always have like again, it helps to have somebody with you. And I was like, hey, I have an Uber with this guy, but just regardless, always keep track. And if you are like in a situation, if you do get into a situation like that for whatever reason, accident, unavoidable scenario, whatever, do call somebody. Calling my roommate was probably the best thing I could have done there.
Yeah.
Have a safe word, like a word you can text to someone that you know that's like really safe. That it's like if anything were to go wrong, you could text them and they'd be like,
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Always have
"No,
also, I
yeah.
don't know if iPhones do this, but Androids have like this button. I think it's like the emergency button or something.
yeah,
And it'll basically
Mhm.
send out your location to like a select group of people that you pick. And it'll say, like, hey, I need help. And it'll send pictures. Although, if it's like bright enough for them to see, I guess that's helpful. But if not, then I think the flash does come on. But it does help just so that way they can like see what's going on and know where you are. So if you have
Yes, you're
something
too
like
tired
that,
to do
it'd
it.
be good to use it.
Yeah, just, like, build a
Mhm.
plan for yourself,
Yeah.
so you can, like, have fun while you're staying safe.
Mhm. We wanna make it back home at the end of the day.
It
Mhm.
may be
Yeah.
fun to be extra spontaneous, but if you have like any sort of plans on, getting really tired, then in the long run, it's going to be much better to like have at least some idea
Yeah.
of how you are going to get back to your bed at night or you are going to fall asleep in a safe location.
Yeah. It's not worth not making that plan,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to say about dating apps before we completely ditch this? Because I feel like we're already deep into the party topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of intertwined when it comes to, like, college
True.
stuff. It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be, but, like, often it is.
All right. Let's move on to the parties then. But yeah, everything that we said so far, make sure you guys stay safe and make a plan. Just in case anything goes wrong. Because if you do have a plan, at least you don't have to think on the spot, like, oh crap, like what should I do? And then you panic. So just
And
have
also,
something ready.
the benefit of going to, like, parties where you know a lot of people is that, like, if they're, like, your actual friends, like, they also wanna make sure you get home okay, so they're gonna
Hmm.
be looking out for you and taking care of you, which is good. Yeah. Mhm.
See, and if you don't have this, I actually have a personal story that kind of relates to this. So I believe it was the first party that I went to that was like was it Halloween themed? Like kind of sort of. So it was like a boxing club party. And so the theme was like to show up with like box related things. So someone came with like they had like a cut holes into like an Amazon box and it made like SpongeBob SquarePants pants. And I put on a striped shirt and I'm like, look, I'm a mime in a box. I really didn't want to. I didn't have a costume, so that was my idea.
Very
But
clever.
that party. Sorry for the folks that listen to this who posted, but I did not enjoy. It was not good. The music was bad. We went from
And
like country, which, I'm not a big country person. I will listen to it occasionally, but I would not associate that with parties per se. There was country, there were like some meme songs that are just like I don't know. I was not vibing with it. So I came with this person who we were supposed to meet up with some other people. I don't know where the dude went, and the girl, she showed up late and she was already like drunk out of her mind. So by the time that I saw her, I'm like, yeah, there's no way you even know what's happening. So I was trying to leave, but I didn't want to leave by myself because I lived on South Campus at the time, which is far away from like the main campus and academic buildings for those who don't know. And I did not want to like walk all the way back. And for some reason, Uber never crossed my mind. So I'm like, I'm just gonna if I see a group of people leaving, I'm gonna just walk out with them.
oh,
So that's what I did.
Hmm.
There were two girls that were walking out, and I just ended up like, I was like, hey, like, do you guys mind if I walk back with you guys? I don't really have anybody to walk with. And they said yes. So, if you are by yourself and you don't have anybody um to walk back with, you can always ask people, and most of the time they're gonna be
Hmm.
pretty nice. But yeah,
Yeah.
Grace.
Also, girls are more actually nice than you think. Sometimes they're not, but like seriously, just even if you don't know them, seriously, just like if you ask, they'll probably say yes.
Yeah.
Especially if they're intoxicated. Especially.
They
Like
were
if they've been
actually
drinking too much water, like seriously, like they'll be your best friends, even if you've never met.
yeah, I actually didn't
So
know either one of the girls. And they were both they seemed pretty sober to me. I don't know if they were like those like sober super juicy juiced up type people, but yeah, we all just walked back. We actually stopped by Buns and got a burger, and then like we just like walked back through campus. So I actually ended up making cool friends that night. So
when
you
you
never
have a
know.
better time walking home than actually
Legit,
at the
I had a
party.
much better time walking back from the party than at the party itself.
There have been many a nights going along with what we've said about leaving parties, whether if it's close enough, always walk back with a group. I've definitely done that before. Um, there was one night in particular, I was at a party. Um, I did not know I was at it alone. I had some friends who came, and I think they had text me like they were like, "Hey, we're gonna head out," and I just hadn't read it. We just hadn't like made two and two. And so
uh,
I realized I was like, "Oh, I'm here alone right now." And I was like, "You know what? I'm just kind of vibing." I'm like, I was like, "I'm okay, right alone. I can take care of myself for now. I'm not like that tired." Met a group of friends or group of people, and just like started hanging out with them, talking with them, hung out with them for the rest of the night, and it was good. They actually like offered to walk me back. We all kind of just walked back together, which was really nice. So it's like most people have good intentions. but definitely be careful. And now whenever we see each other, we'll say like, "Hey," even though we don't know each other. I don't remember their names.
Oh, that's the worst.
I'm like, I know you when I see you, but that's about it.
All right. Well, I think we're getting close to the end here. So, do you guys have any ending remarks or things that you just want to talk about for a little bit?
Drink lots of water, kids.
Yes,
Yes,
I
drink
feel like
lots of
this
water.
turned into like a drinking advice, but that's not. I don't know how far we're allowed to go.
Listen,
Hey,
I personally feel like we did a lot more to help people than the like required
I think
modules that
so.
we're supposed
we
to
did
take.
people a service
Yeah.
Has
today.
We're
anyone
not
done that
encouraging
though?
bad behavior. We're
No.
encouraging good habits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're like the cool parents. Like, you can do it. Just be safe about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
the next generation of parents is gonna be unreal. It's gonna
Oh
be
no, I think
unreal.
about that sometimes because there are like some YouTubers that I follow that are in their like early 30s, I think, that are parents that I'm already like, that's kind of wild. But imagining like people my
Us?
age, including myself, becoming a parent, I'm like, oh my God,
I know people
Mm-mm.
my age who have
Mm-mm.
children, and
I
I'm like,
know.
really?
Less,
Oh my
less and less
gosh.
people though are
Mm-hmm.
actually going to be having kids. Like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I feel like I've heard a
I
lot of
don't
people
want
say
one.
they don't want kids.
Yeah.
Well,
They're a
there's
money
a
sink. Like,
there's a
great, they'll
decrease.
have like cool moments, and you can name them. That's fun. Naming things is fun, but I'll get a cat,
Name them.
I love the
right?
kid.
I
Cats are
love
Great.
kids.
Why
I
great.
get a kid when you can get a cat?
Kids, cats,
Fur
they're close
baby.
enough.
So are you
Two
gonna
big
say,
Samantha,
Sam?
cats.
speak on in defense of children.
Oh yeah, no, I love kids. I think, relationship or not, like irrelevant to like if I'm in a relationship or not, like I'm gonna have a kid. Like I just want to raise a kid.
I can
So
understand that. I mean, it's really cool, like being able to have like an influence over somebody. I don't think that I'm a good person for like.
I
why,
just want the
why are
time.
you so
I
manipulative with
want to
this
be
subject?
able I want to be
Well, okay,
able
wait.
You're like, oh, it'd be cool to influence somebody and give them a name.
be cool to make someone do things and think things.
Now I don't have to do the dishes anymore.
Like a mentor sort of thing. Like
Yeah,
being
yeah,
someone's
yeah.
mentor is cool. I just don't think that I want like everything that goes along with it. I don't
That's
think I'd be good
fair.
at that. That seems like stressful for me. But
Yeah.
I do understand why people would want to have kids. It's just I don't think
Mm.
that's something that I think less and less people are that's appealing to less and less people.
No, I
Yeah.
There's a
agree. I've met like
statistic.
I know a lot of people that like don't want kids at all. Yeah.
We can't afford it. Thank
Overpopulation.
you, government.
True. It is getting harder to make that money. So follow me on
Listen,
TikTok, please. I'm starting OnlyFans soon.
our
No, I'm just
Link
kidding.
in bio.
like our grandparents were able to buy houses when they got right out of college. The idea of us doing that is like impossible.
Yeah, I'd be
We
like, are you
graduate in
famous on
debt.
YouTube? You're
Like
famous on TikTok?
like
Like,
exactly. You're able to buy a house. I graduate like that amount, but in debt. Like what?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's very that's why like when I see people on the internet who become internet famous who are like 13, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm failing already.
I feel like it's not good for anyone to be famous at that age. Personally,
Yeah.
I
Mm.
think it's not good for them. It wouldn't have been good for me. I don't think it's
Oh
yeah. I
no.
just think
Oh
like you
yeah,
don't
definitely
need
not.
that much money and influence. And there's a certain thing, especially with YouTube, there's this thing where like people kind of assume that their opinion matters, which sounds harsh, but like, when you're in
No,
this
you're right.
position of power and like you have this whole audience, people like think a lot of what they have to say and like their audience thinks a lot of what they have to say. So we're so surprised when they do stupid things and say stupid things, but they're just stupid people because we're all stupid people. I'm sorry, I just went on a little rant there.
No, yeah, that's totally true. There are like lots of people on YouTube who like people look up to, which I don't think is like an issue, but just like following them blindly without like really thinking for yourself, I think is where the issue comes from. And I feel like that's just common in like people that are within our
Should be.
generation. It's just like we just follow people because either we don't want to think about something or we're just like everybody else is doing it. So
But
uh,
they're just people.
yeah,
Yeah.
gotta think
Sorry, I
for
got off track a bit,
ourselves.
but I don't know
Which
how I
reminds me, actually, speaking of thinking for yourself, by the time that this comes out, it'll probably be be past time for voting. But if it's not, please go out and vote if you're registered. If you're not registered, register, and then you'll have a shot next time or for whatever local election you can vote for that.
You can
But
register in person too.
oh, I didn't. Okay, well, yeah, just go out,
Yeah, you just
register
have to
and
like
vote.
Careful though.
do your
Wear a
research.
mask.
Wear a
I
mask.
voted
Yes,
Wednesday.
Just
there you
vote,
go.
guys.
I technically voted today. I put in my ballot.
Yes.
I did mail in, and so I sent mine in like early October, and it's already been counted.
There you
Nice.
go.
Awesome.
See, this is like, I don't know. Thankfully, I saw on social media there are like hundreds of thousands of more people that have actually voted within our age range this coming election, which I'm like, thank God, because we're just like
Yeah.
messing up so far. But yeah, it is a privilege to vote, and it definitely can help people out just as far as like getting the right policies and stuff in. So, make sure y'all do that, whether it's for this election or just any time in the future.
Want
What,
to
Grace?
have my own
Please,
opinions
but-
about voting, and I don't know if you left in the recording, but if you're American, I feel like you should be almost forced to vote because it's like that is the number one privilege we have. As
No,
Americans.
yeah.
That's the only thing we have going for us is that we can vote, and the fact that you're not using that, you're just. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't want to be like that person, but like, don't throw away your vote.
To
No,
the
I
next
agree.
episode, which is just
I-
letting Grace go off.
I mean, seriously,
Yes.
people
Bonus
throw away
episode.
their vote. It's just like you are literally like you are not allowed to complain about America for the next 4 years because you gave up that right when you decide not to vote, and that's the key.
Mhm.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. If you did, make sure to like the video and share it with your friends. We're trying to get more people onto this channel where you can see other STV shows. So yeah, please subscribe if you enjoyed our content as well as others. And we all hope that you have a nice day and go register to vote. So yeah, we'll see you next time.
Go vote.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.